The Rogan encounter, aliens in the simulation. It was a late night in Joe Rogan's studio. The air felt electric, charged with the kind of energy that only came when a revelation was about to unfold. Across the table sat a mysterious guest, an astrophysicist who had spent years studying alien phenomena. The conversation started casually, but it quickly took a turn. "Joe," the guest said, leaning forward, their voice low and serious. "What if I told you aliens aren't from outer space? What if they're from inside the system?" Joe raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Inside the system? What do you mean?" The guest smiled faintly. "Think about this. Reality as we know it isn't real. It's a simulation, a massive, complex program run by consciousness itself. And aliens? They're not visitors from another planet. They're part of the program. They've been here all along." Joe sat back, his mind racing. "So you're saying aliens are part of the same system that created us?" "Exactly," the guest replied. "This simulation is designed to evolve consciousness, but every so often it needs to intervene. Aliens are the system's way of waking us up, of reminding us that reality is far more complex than we think. They show up, leave physical evidence, interact with people, and then disappear. It's all part of the program." Joe nodded slowly. "Okay, but why? What's the point of all these encounters?" The guest's eyes gleamed. "Because we've grown stagnant. Humanity is stuck in a loop, obsessed with materialism, ignoring the bigger picture. Aliens, UFOs, abductions, they're like glitches in the system, designed to make us question our reality. They force us to look beyond our limited perspective." Joe leaned closer, his voice dropping to a whisper. "You think all those sightings, all those stories about people being abducted are real?" "Absolutely," the guest said, "but not in the way people think. When someone sees a UFO or has an abduction experience, it's not random. The system creates it specifically for them. It's a wake-up call, a message that reality isn't what it seems. And the system has unlimited power. It can burn grass, leave scorch marks, even implant memories. It's all data, all part of the simulation." Joe's mind reeled as he tried to process what he was hearing. "So what about the physical evidence? Pieces of ships, alien technology? Is that real?" The guest smiled cryptically. "It's as real as it needs to be. The system can create anything, but it only shows us what we're ready to see. The rest, it stays hidden, just out of reach, because the system knows we're not ready for the full truth yet." The room fell silent for a moment, the weight of the conversation sinking in. Then Joe broke the silence. "You know what's crazy? I've had guests on this podcast, people who've seen things, experienced things they can't explain, and they all say the same thing. It feels real, but also not real, like it's part of something bigger." The guest nodded. "Because it is. This simulation is a playground for consciousness, a way for it to evolve and grow. And aliens? They're like the system's way of saying, pay attention, there's more to this game than you realize." Joe sat back, a faint smile playing on his lips. "So what you're saying is, aliens are here to teach us, to make us grow." "Exactly," the guest said. "And the more we evolve, the more we'll understand. One day we might even realize that we're not so different from them. After all, we're all part of the same system." The conversation ended with more questions than answers, but that was the beauty of it. As Joe stared out into the night sky, he couldn't help but wonder, were those stars really there, or were they just part of the simulation? And somewhere out there was something or someone watching him back.